Speedcubeshop just released a new video about the MoFang RS6, which is as yet unreleased, new budget 6x6 from the MoFang JiaoShi RS line. Let's take a look at what our man Cameron has to say about it, shall we?
So I received a really good 6x6 in the mail today.
Lucky.
I assumed it was I opened it up, did a few solves, and didn't even notice that it was a new 6x6 until Jaden pointed out the hollow
On you, Jaden.
centerpieces.
Thanks for that.
And
hollow centerpieces? How are we feeling about that, everyone? How are we feeling about hollow centerpieces on a 6x6? I'm getting Mailon Cubing Classroom 6x6 vibes, which you'll notice I don't sell anymore because they just explode.
the logo is for the MoFang JiaoShi.
It's a cool logo.
The
It looks good
holes are
on
a
the
lot
Super
smaller,
RS3M.
and the cube itself is actually smaller.
It's even smaller than the WRM. That's interesting, isn't it? Because that's a small 6x6. Okay, Moyu. Okay.
MoFang JiaoShi. They have an RS lineup of budget cubes which are known for being insanely great values
They do,
and even
and they
rival the
are.
flag. The price of the RS6 is unknown, but I do know it will be a good bit cheaper than the JiaoShi WRM.
And you would expect so. You would expect so. With hollow pieces, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that noise. Hollow pieces on a 6x6, yuck. No, thank you very much. See, that looks pretty Mailong to me.
The weight of both puzzles are nearly identical. The RS6 is 144 grams and
Sure.
the JiaoShi is 149 grams. The color scheme and exterior finishes are more or less the same, so
The cheaper one looks a little bit more of a frosty boy, just from this angle. It could be that he's played with the other one a bit more, of course. The WRM could be just a little bit more played in. Anyway, let's carry on, shall we?
the RS3M 2020, the 3x3 from this MoFang sub-brand, is the most popular 3x3, but arguments can be made that there are better options out there for more money.
I mean, it's not a difficult argument to make that there are better cubes for more money. Like, that's a no-brainer. There are pretty much no better cubes for the same money, but yeah. On you, Cam. Let's go.
It makes it a lot more difficult
Do you
to
see that?
justify. It makes it a lot more
There it is.
difficult.
Oh. That looks like there's a real bad time just out of reach.
Out of the box, the RS6 is definitely faster, but not uncontrollable.
It doesn't sound great. It sounds a bit Mailong-y.
And the overall feel is pretty stable.
There's an awful lot of catching the second layer. Hey, that's what I've observed, everyone.
Have a more premium feel. I don't really know how to explain it. It just does
Same.
feel more expensive.
Just feels spendy. I rate that. It's like the GAN 13. It just feels spendy. I get you, Cam. I feel you.
I have no doubt that the JiaoShi WRM will more than likely aid you in getting faster times. The RS6's compact size and fast turning make it really easy to use. The major difference between the two is the chance of locking up. The hollow inners of the RS6 do
Gross.
cause a bit of catching if you aren't careful with your turning.
There's another layer
but
going.
For a
Look.
keeper like me who isn't out to break records,
Cam, I feel you. I'm not out to break records either, brother.
if money's no problem for you, get the JiaoShi.
JiaoShi, all right, $44 US, which is £35, 67 New Zealand dollars, 63 Australian dollars. It is a spendy 6x6, but I tell you what, it's the one people are telling me to get. It's the one that my team are asking for. It's the one my customers are asking for. It's the one people not even on my team, like Chris and Dwayne, like they're telling me that these are the ones I need to be getting in, the WRMs, that is. I think they might even replace the MGC in the store for a while, honestly. I think that's what's going to happen.
If you aren't so sure about committing to a $40 6x6, the RS6 is the best option.
Fair. It's a
by
chunk of
far
cash.
compared to other budget ones out there.
Can we talk for a second about Cameron's windbreaker? Because that is swag. Look at that thing. I might have to get one of them. That's fresh as.
But it does slightly concern me that Moyu is making budget cubes too competitive with their
Cam is
flagships.
concerned.
The problem here is that unless
Tell me
there
the
is an
problem, Cam.
increase
Tell
in
me.
sales volume to make up the difference of lost revenue for selling the flagship, Moyu will ultimately make less money, which might lead to less budget for development and innovation.
I don't know. I would disagree there with you, Cam. I reckon that there's the customer journey or the customer progression. This is generally what happens in a lot of cubers I see, is they'll get the cheapest one, then they'll learn to solve it, then they'll come back for the slightly better one. And I do think, there's usually everyone's got a couple of each puzzles in them. They usually start off with something, then come back and get another one, which is cool. All right, that's cool for a cube store, and like me, and for a cube store like SES, and for a cube store like Cubicle. Like, yeah, we want you to come back and buy the same product twice, essentially, right? Of course we do. My store is very, very small, so I can't stock every single version of every single puzzle that I want to. Whereas the big stores stores can, and they do. In my next one of these, I'm going to be looking at the Cubicle, looking at the 2 new 3x3s that are coming out, and Phil he trashes one of them. He says it's the worst cube ever, don't buy it, but he also says here's the link. So like that's the difference between big stores and little stores like me. So anyway, I went on a tangent. Let's carry on.
Now I know I might be blowing this way out of proportion, but these are just my thoughts. I would love to hear yours and continue the discussion.
Look at that little display of the SCS lubes back there in the background, isn't that? That is an excellent flex. Well done. I like that.
These are just my thoughts. I would love to hear yours and continue the discussion in the comment section.
These are
below.
my thoughts.
Slap a like on it.
Slap it.
Subscribe to the channel for more
Slap that like
content.
button. So interesting that SCS have made a video about one cube to sell another one. You know what I mean? They've kind of said, yeah, this is coming out, but what are you doing? Buy the JiaoShi. Although to be fair, it is a versus video. But so I mean, it sounds like, am I going to get the RS6 in? Nah. Am I going to get the JiaoShi? Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. Definitely going to get the JiaoShi in. I want to use one. They look really cool. They're just a little bit smaller than an MGC. They look really good. Anyway, link below. Go and watch the SCS video. You heard the man. Slap the like button and then go and slap his like button. Slap everyone's like button. Go find a like button and slap it. Bye.